Everybody, it's Donovan here. Came out to the garden to do our normal every morning check, and I noticed that I have a cantaloupe. You can obviously see it's extra small. When I was working in the cantaloupe area, which is definitely overgrown with grass, the other day I was moving some things around, and I think I accidentally broke the vine off of this one because all the others are really green, and I'll show you. So there's one there, and it's a nice big one back here. They're green. This one was sitting in there and it was very yellow. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna take you guys to the house with me here live. We're gonna cut this up. We're gonna see how it tastes. I obviously got my normal bowl of vegetables, picking them, like okra, tomatoes, and a few cucumbers. Yesterday I came in and I cleaned up the whole garden with the weed eater. And you guys can see my okra plants are getting really big. Love that. Cucumbers seem like they're slowing down a little bit. Okra's picking up. And the tomatoes, I think we've finally gotten kind of over the rotten bottom of the tomatoes. We had a friend come over and she told me that we needed to put eggshells on it. So she gave me some eggshells that she turned into powder. We've added those to the garden probably 3 weeks ago. And then my mama soaked some banana leaves for me and was able to put the banana water all over the bases of the tomatoes and on the tomatoes. And I think it's made a big help. I've stopped getting bloom rot on the bottom of my tomatoes, and they're really starting to grow and take off. So are the brand new tomatoes that we planted when all of our tomatoes died. I don't know if you guys saw that video, but we put them out way too early. We started new starters, and those took a while to get going. Hey, Carol. And it took them a while to get going, but finally they got going, got warm enough. We planted them, and so they're way behind on the other tomatoes, which we were given by Nikki, my friend from high school, and those are producing tomatoes. But the other ones that we grew later, they're actually starting to grow a lot of blooms now, and they're going to be like a second harvest of tomatoes. So let's go in the house here. Let's cut this cantaloupe up. Dizzy, how'd you get in here? Okay. Sorry if the house is a mess. Let me set you guys up here and we will get to filming this thing. Cutting this cantaloupe up here. Okay, I think we're good there. Let me rinse it off real quick. It's all dirty. Come on, internet. Okay. We get up. It does look amazing though. It smells so good. I don't know. It looks beautiful actually. Really good though once they're all done. Let me get this trimmed up a little bit. I like to get all the vines off of it. All right, let's cut it in half here. Ooh, look at that guy. Look at the color on that thing. It's small. Get the seeds out of it. Ooh, they're sliding everywhere. All right, here we go. Taste test. Oh my gosh, that is so good. I have to save some of this for Linda. It is just so juicy. And I don't remember which one this is, but doesn't that seem really small for a cantaloupe? That is yummy. Just cut them seeds out like that. We'll save all this for Linda when she comes home. I'll cut these into some pieces. She's at work right now, so. Oops. How many of you guys like cantaloupe that are out there watching? If you're just now joining us, we took a cantaloupe from the garden, brought it to the house. I think I accidentally knocked it off the vine a few days ago, and it's just been sitting in there ripening underneath the leaves. I found it today, and we took it home and cut it up, and it's amazing. I wonder if Ellie's she's still sleeping. The girls are still sleeping. The boys are at football right now. They actually have a 7-on-7 tournament today in another town, so they are not going to be home. And then later tonight, we are celebrating Jeremiah's birthday. Yeah, his birthday was a few weeks ago, but with all the things going on, we didn't have time to actually have a birthday party. So we're having it today, and that's going to be fun. Has anyone ever had prosciutto wrapped cantaloupe? Does anybody know what prosciutto is? Prosciutto is so good with cantaloupe because it's salty, a little salty, and so when you mix that saltiness of that meat with cantaloupe, oh, it brings out the sweet in that. Sweet and salty go good together. If you're not culinary minded, sweet and salty go good together. Because the salt brings out, like, how many people put salt on their watermelon? Same thing. Okay, well, that was going to be just my breakfast, but I think I better save some of that. What are you saying, Carol? Haven't had that, but sounds delicious. It is, Carol. It's really good. You've got to try it. Prosciutto on your cantaloupe. Wrap your pieces of prosciutto around a piece of cantaloupe, and really, really good. Here's the produce from the garden today. Here's our cucumbers. Those are the long ones. Those are going to be good. We're still getting a lot of these small pickle ones, which we have made a bunch of pickles. And then my heirloom tomatoes continue to produce. What's really cool about these, look at the end of them. They like make a star whenever you take the cap off of them, like that. When you take that off, it makes a star. And so they're really, really pretty. And I love them. And then there's this other one. So this is a little bit bigger. This one's kind of nasty looking, but anybody know what causes this cracking right here? I mean, this one cracked, but it healed. So not sure if maybe I got a bug in there at first, but there's no hole in there. It healed itself, so that's pretty good. But there's these ones. These ones are really cool. If anybody knows what this one is called, remember, I didn't plant these. Nikki gave them to me. She did have little, cards in them. I didn't pay any attention to the card when I was planting it, so I don't know what is what. Our second batch of tomatoes that we planted, that we grew, we did mark all of them, so I'll know at least, what's a cherry tomato, what's a grape tomato, what's a beefsteak and slicer and all that. So, but I don't know what these ones are. Carol, do you know what those are? I don't know. There's some heirloom tomato professional out there that's going to leave a comment and tell me exactly what that is. But they don't get red, they stay orange. So, I don't know. And then my okra are getting really good. I have been saving them every day. I try to clip them off and rinse them and store them. And then what I've been doing with them So if anybody knows a better way or a different way, here's ones that I've kept. These are probably 3 or 4 days old, and they've started to get these black lines on them. And then these are from yesterday. And I've been trying to like save them up instead of eating them instantly. I've been trying to save them up like worth a jar worth of them, and then I've been pickling them. And so this weekend, Saturday, or a couple days ago, I pickled a bunch. I'll show you. So here are my pickled okra that I have pickled. Look at all the space that when they're boiled, how much space is on the bottom. Look at all the dill seed is suspended in there. But yeah, those are delicious. And I even made these little jars of them. And then something you guys haven't seen yet is because I haven't posted the video yet because I haven't made it, but look at that. How awesome does that look? And so me and Carol Dibbin, who has been commenting, she came over to the house and we made her famous chow chow, which is yellow squash, zucchini, onions, bell peppers, and then a few spices and some vinegar. And then we cook that down, and she's actually in the video doing everything for me and with me. So you guys aren't gonna want to miss that video in the next week or two, probably 2 weeks from now, because next week I'm going to church camp with my daughter. My daughter is going to a kids camp, and I got tagged as the cook to go with her because it was unfortunate, but the cook that was going to go with him, his father passed away. So please keep them in prayer. And so he's not be able to go. And so in a crunch, they called me, and my daughter had already been wanting me to go to church camp with her. So I did say yes. So I'm going to be going to church camp, and that's going to be fun. However, everything's going to be okay at the house. All my kids will be pulling vegetables for me, taking care of the place, and I'm going to have a good time. I'm just going to have to work every day, all 3 meals. But it should be nothing. No problem, I hope. The menu's pretty easy. Okay. What else do you guys want me to cover this morning? Does anybody want to see any cooking? I've got some venison. You guys like venison? We should make some venison because I'm out of my balsamic vinegar, so I can't make my cucumber and balsamic and onion and tomato salad, which I really, really enjoy. However, I do have some fresh venison, and I had some frosted mini wheats this morning, but I think that I should cook something of sustenance for myself. So, look what I got here. I have a doe eye of round that was killed. This is old, but it's vacuum sealed. This is from 21. And this was sealed in a vacuum machine. And we're gonna see how it looks when I pull it out. So 2021, December 31st. So basically 22. So this is almost a year and a half old. Let's cut it open and cook it. Woo! Let me get you guys close. Look at that. Still smells fresh, just like we harvested it the day that we harvested it. All right, let's get it seasoned up and let's get it in the skillet. Okay. I'll bring you guys over here in a second. Moving you guys. Here we go. There we go. Now let's bring the meat over. Okay. So, back up a little bit. You guys want to see my camera stand? That's my camera stand right there. An owl. So to that, let's add some pepper or some salt. And I've got some black pepper here. And we're gonna pan sear. Now, remember when you're cooking venison, don't overcook it. Okay, you're looking for medium to medium rare. You go past medium, you might as well be eating some tough deer meat because that's what's gonna happen to it. It's gonna get tough on you. And all those people that say, I don't like deer meat, probably because your Uncle Ed shot it, gave it to you. He gut shot it. He didn't clean it fast enough and it halfway spoiled. And he left some boo-boo in it. And well, you got that meat. And of course you don't like venison because it tasted like crap. And you overcooked it. But we're not going to overcook it today. We are going to cook it to medium rare. Ooh, I don't have much. I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil and butter in the pan. Now, olive oil has a higher flash point, so it won't burn as bad. Butter, although, has a very low flash point. And if you keep butter in the skillet too long, you'll burn your butter, and that's not good. And there are different levels of olive oil to use. There's lighter olive oils that are gonna be better for your salad making, vinaigrettes, and then there is darker ones that are basically made for higher temperature cooking. But just know, if you use olive oil, can't answer right now, buddy. All right, let's see what we got here. Oh yes, we're gonna turn that heat up. Now this is our induction stove that we put in during our, when we built our house, which works really good. It only works with special pans. So if you take the pan off, it starts blinking. It should start blinking. Yes, see there the blinking? It's saying, hey, I don't have a pot, and it'll shut off. And even though this is nice and hot, that doesn't get that hot. So now for venison, I like to cook it quick. I want to brown it. I don't want to just cook it all the way through. If it starts to gray, then it's going to be tough. And then what we'll do is we'll cook a few fresh chicken eggs, which we have right here in our cupboard. We don't refrigerate them. That's where those are. All right. Let's get rid of this. And no, I did not plan to go live today and cook for you guys. I'm just doing it out of the kindness of my heart. All right. Let's see. I'll leave it right there. I'm gonna turn that over. See how nice and brown that is? Oh yeah. Just like that. That's what you want. Now when that meat is turning brown like that, that's called a Maillard reaction. That is the browning of that protein, caramelization of it. Very, 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 very good for you to cook it like that, because that's where you're gonna get that crunchiness on the outside. And to cook it at high heat, sometimes you might burn it though, you gotta be very careful. And then what you can also do with venison, venison works really good with sweet stuff. So like say I finished my meat and I've got a little oil in there, I could add a little butter, and then I can add some currant jelly. And currants go really good with venison. So that's really a good thing to put with it. But today we're gonna just do We're gonna do this venison loin, or these venison eyes, cook them to medium rare, pull them off, let them rest while I cook me a couple over easy eggs, and bam. This looks so delicious. Who's still with me? Who likes venison? I can turn some light on in here. Let's see here. Where's that light at? There we go. Oh, yeah. I like to get all sides of that browned. There we go. All right, who likes venison? Someone's got to tell me they like venison. Okay, or who's never had venison before? Has anybody never eaten venison? And if you don't know what venison is, it's deer meat. Or wild game meat. I mean, a kind of deer. Like this is whitetail deer, but there's also like axis deer meat that you can eat. There's elk. So, but today we're cooking this whitetail. And I believe this whitetail was from Illinois. My buddy Tim Anello from Inside Outdoors TV, he gave this to me when he was trying to empty out his freezer. I didn't kill this one. I have plenty of deer in there that we did harvest, but this was given to me. It does have to be processed correctly, Carol. You know, if you've had it bad, it's because someone failed to process it. And that's what makes like an outdoorsman a really good outdoorsman, because they will, I gotta turn this blower on. Hopefully that's not too loud for you guys. I gotta have something to suck that smoke up. If someone doesn't process their game correctly, it will turn people off from eating wild game. Okay, those are pretty much done. Now they are soft, so they are pretty rare in the middle. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cover those, take that off the heat for a minute, and I'm gonna get some foil, and I'm gonna cover them with a piece of foil so that they can kind of carry over cook. And what carry over cooking is, if nobody knows, carry over cooking is when your product is hot and you put it on the pan and you cover it up, or even if you don't, the temperature continues to cook the inside. So if you ever pull a steak off and it's like perfect, and then you pile a bunch of steaks up on it, and then you come get ready to eat and everyone divvies their food out, and then all the steaks are overcooked, it wasn't because you cooked it to the wrong temperature, it's because it carry over cooked. And that's pretty much how you overcook stuff. So what you want to do is cook it up right to that temperature and cover it up and let it sit, and then that will bring it to the rest of the way, and then you'll be good. Okay, let's get to the eggs. All right, so I need to wipe my pan now. One thing you do need to know, that after cooking meat in a skillet, if you put eggs directly in it, your eggs, you will not be able to flip your eggs. They will stick to the pan. They stick to the pan because of the meat, the sugars and the blood and stuff. So, especially when you're cooking bacon. If you cook bacon and then you want to cook your eggs directly in that bacon fat, dump that fat off, clean your pan, and then put the fat back in. You'll have a better job of making sure that you get your over easy eggs and not just scrambled, stuck to the pan eggs. All right, let me get mine. So that's what's on the bottom of it. If you don't, I'm gonna start off with about 5 power. Now, I will tell you that when you're cooking eggs that are fresh, that you've not refrigerated, that aren't processed, sometimes they are the hardest to cook an over easy egg with, because for some reason they tend to break, the yolk tends to break a lot easier than it does like with an egg from the store, which I don't completely understand that. But we're going to start off with a good amount of butter in the bottom of my pan, like such. Oh yes. Starting off low heat, about 5. Okay. How many of you guys know how to break an egg with one hand? Grab it like that, and you're gonna be using your hand like this to pull the egg. Okay? Crack it, pull it. Just like that. And we'll do 1 egg. Sorry for shaking you guys around so much, but there we go. Anybody you guys have one of those butter dishes at the house? Keep your butter at room temperature next to your stove or on your counter. It makes for such easy cooking, and it's not hard and cold. Since I ran out, I had to start with a new stick. There we go. Okay, let's salt and pepper the eggs, or the egg. There we go. If my egg is slowly like this, light bubbles underneath it, my power is good. If it's burning, my heat's too high. Let's see. And I like to use a rubber spatula just to loosen it up. Make sure it's, there we go. All right, now for the flip. There we go. Now for this, we're gonna let it cook for just a second. I don't want to cook my egg yolk. See that? Cooking the egg yolks a little bit too much. So it's about to be an over medium if I'm not careful. And I want to just barely cook my egg white, because if I'm not careful. Okay, here we go. Let me take that off the heat. Let me turn that off. Ooh, nice and bloody. I like it. All right, there we go. That's breakfast, y'all. Venison with a over easy egg. Let's cut it up and see how it looks. Give me a second. Let me get a fork. Okay, I'm gonna try to set you guys up on this little thing here. Does that even work? How does that look? I don't even know. Hold on a second. I got my angle. All right, it's gonna be hard to do this. So, there we go. That works. Let's see how this looks. Now I'm expecting it to be almost like a dark red in the middle. How amazing does that look, guys? That's more of what I'm looking for. Yes. Okay. There we go. There is a perfect hunter's breakfast right there. Shabam. What y'all think about that? Huh? Is that good? Is that good? All right. Okay, let's try a bite. Let's try a bite with my, I see that I barely overcooked the egg, just a little bit. It's almost like a over medium. I cooked it a little too long. I mean, there's some over easy to it. You can see it running. Like this. How do people not like venison? I don't understand. I think they're crazy. If you don't like venison, you might be crazy. Who likes venison? Give me your hands up. Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Put your hands up. This is excellent. If you're not cooking your venison, I'm telling you guys, when you cook venison, if it doesn't look like this, okay? If it doesn't look like that, it's overcooked and you're gonna be eating chewy venison. That is the proper way to cook venison, okay? Medium rare. That is where you'll get them tender. You don't have to worry about it being, gonna get you hurt, because if it's processed by a professional hunter, a guy that takes care of his meat, that's gonna be very safe to eat. Most deer that are harvested are out of the woods, stripped down, cut into pieces, and kept in, on ice, and then packaged and put in the freezer pretty quickly. I know for me, sometimes I can do it within a few hours. Sometimes people like to age their meat, which that means that to age it, you have to keep your venison at about 40 degrees over the time. So if it's nice and cold out, you can age your venison like in the garage, or even if you have a walk-in cooler, it makes it really good. All right, guys, here we go. We got fresh cantaloupe right here from the garden, fresh deer, and my eggs. I spent lots of money to hunt. My buddy spent lots of money to hunt. The chicken coop cost me a lot of money to build. The gardens cost me a lot of hours. However, though, I didn't spend a penny on any of this. We'll see you guys on the next video. Love you.